Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and what I'm going to show you here is a replay from the Tier 2 Japanese tank, the half gold. So I should say the Tier 2 light Japanese tank. I wanted to show you a quick clip of a replay from the Tier 1 as well. I only played one game in the Tier 1, it's kind of your generic FT17 clone. But the reason I wanted to show you it was because it is the first and only time I have ever lost a tank because all the crew died. There's only 2 crew in it, but you know, there we are. I can't show you it, however the replay's completely borked, so I'm only going to be able to show you this. Now, I only played one game in this as well, and you know, it's alright, it's an okay Tier 2, there's nothing massively special about it, but I do reasonably well, so we're going to show you that. The other thing you'll notice is that we do take quite a lot of crew damage in this game, and this is a Tier 2 game, so I'm not running like repair kit or med pack or fire extinguisher or any of that jazz, because it's Tier 2 and you're not going to have a massive profit margin anyway. So this is just kind of naked. I have given it binos and camo net because I've got a load of binos and camo net lying around that I bought at one point or another. And what I normally do on province, and of course you only get province in low tier games, what I normally do is either stay up the top of the ridge where you spawn, or somewhere near there, or come down here to the bottom of the enemy ridge and see what good you can do down here. It depends where the rest of the team appeared to be going, and on this occasion I've gone down here. So you can see so far I've done a bit of damage to a T18 and killed a T1, just there. This gun is not massively accurate, but it's a Tier 2 machine. Let's keep this in context. It's got accuracy of something like 0.1 or 0.41 or 0.43 or something of that order. And I chose to go down the light line. I should point out that because I was grinding through the Japanese for the purposes of getting the IS-6, then I was trying to do it as fast as possible, and I opted to go down the light rather than medium line because, well, they seem to get about the same guns, and, you know, lights are presumably more manoeuvrable. However, if you go down the medium line, then when they converge at Tier 5, you will require less XP to unlock the Tier 5. It just takes less XP from the medium Tier 4 than from the light one. But, you know, them's the breaks. And one thing, as you can see there, that Japanese tanks do have is excellent gun depression as a general rule, which is nice. And as I say, the gun's alright, so I'm just going to lay down some hurt here, and I'm already up to 3 kills. But it's one of those games where you're on 3 kills, and all it's doing is keeping the score tied. You're not really making any progress, which is annoying. And oh, a T1 wants to play with me, and the Japanese tanks do not have a huge amount of armour, but there we go, we finish him off. Now there is actually a choice of guns with this one, and if I remember correctly, the other gun deals more damage per shot, but is less accurate, has lower penetration and a lower rate of fire. So I've gone for the slightly higher pen, lower alpha, more accurate gun. More accurate is a relative term. And that's generally my preference. I often prefer guns with a faster rate of fire, as opposed to high alpha damage, and more accurate if possible. And we kind of give someone's masonry there a good going over. And it's 8-all, and I'm on 4 kills. And as I say, I'm just showing this video because it was a good little run around, and oh good lord, a wild T1 appeared. Now, I can't get the gun up far enough to shoot at him where he was originally, but I can there, and he's dead. And we just took our first damaging hit, and it took out our driver. Oh, good lord. And if you're used to driving tanks without much armour, you get used to a lot of module damage, to be fair. And this is no exception. And as I say, driver's dead, and he's not going to be the only one before the end of the game. Now, unfortunately, this is going to involve a little bit of waiting around while we wait for people to do something. Oh, hello! My counterpart or one of my counterparts on the other team, and you can see they've only playing this game. They've only just released the Japanese line because lots of people are playing Japanese tanks. And can we get this guy? Come on, the gun isn't very accurate, unfortunately. Oh, someone else nails him, that's fine. We got a hit onto him. Oh, but that Chini is not looking enormously clever. Oh, but he's still alive. And I decide, sod this, I'm not achieving a great deal of much where I am. I'm going to move further along here and see if I can spot anything. Of course, bearing in mind, my driver is currently having some consciousness problems. And that guy has most likely spotted me, and he just killed our artillery. God knows how we could spot our artillery, but there we go. But I haven't been shot yet, possibly indicating that they don't have any tanks in the corresponding position under our bridge, and the corresponding position to what I am in. So we're just going to push along here and see what happens. I must confess, as I'm recording this commentary, I can't actually remember quite how this game turns out. It was played a couple of weeks ago, and whoa, good lord, someone's shooting at me. Run away! Run away! Flee! And I just try and leg it at this point as fast as my unconscious driver will carry me. Oh, poor commander, he's probably... Oh, we took another hit from a Chini this time, and our radio operator's gone. Oh dear. And so we have... Okay, there's only one hit left in us realistically anyway, possibly two, depending on who shoots us. And we only have one crew member left, so our commander is currently doing everything. This is perhaps not optimal, and oh hello, but it's worth pointing out the commander is by default the gunner on this thing. So the commander is, as the commander is already the gunner, it means that effectively I still have my gunner, and so my gun still, you know, well, is as accurate as it ever was. And we're 2 tanks up still. Managed to... And I must admit, I have kind of mixed feelings about the Japanese tanks so far. So I'm going to show you, well, I will upload at some point a selection of games from the Chinu, the Tier 5 medium tank. And I enjoyed that. I had good fun. I enjoyed the Tier 4 light, although I used some premium ammunition to... I didn't just spam premium ammo, but I did use some to make it slightly easier. And it's worth pointing out the Tier 4 Japanese light tank does not get scout matchmaking. It gets regular matchmaking, because it is not a scout. You know, like the British Covenanter, for instance, or the Valentine, or the AMX-40. They're not scouts. And so I'm just chilling here. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about the Japanese tanks so far. I enjoyed the Tier 5, I enjoyed the Tier 4. I didn't spend a huge amount of time on Tiers 1 through 3. The Tier 6 I initially didn't like, but it's growing on me. The thing with the Tier 5 and Tier 6 machines is that despite the fact that they're mediums, they're really rather sluggish. And the Tier 6 in particular is very large, poorly armoured, it takes a lot of damage, you get the gist. And so I'm going to try and push forward in the Hugo here, a little bit again, try and get some spots off. Whoa, okay, we've managed to nail, well, we've traded a tank each. We've got 4 and we play their 3. And I'm still sitting here on 5 kills. If I can get one more, I get my Top Gun, which would be nice. But to me, awards like that, medals, they always come secondary to winning the damn game. One other interesting is that often their premium ammunition is not APCR or heat, it's just another type of armour piercing ammo. And so you tend to find that the penetration on it, whilst higher than the regular AP ammo, is not quite as high as the premium ammo in in comparable tanks from other nations, or at least that seems to be the case. I managed to get a few shots off there on that Otsu. But he just disappears and I don't get to have another go at him. Come on, come on. This is one of those games, and this is one of those maps where the game often bogs itself down later on. You know, you kind of have a flurry of activity at the beginning, and then it dies away as people suddenly become very cautious. And there's often a flurry of activity toward the end. And so I'm asking if Archini is AFK, because that would suck. I can't remember if I get a response or not. But our little brave tier 1 is moving forwards. Perhaps I'll leave you to be the judge of that. And we're just looking around, see what we can see. And I think in a minute I'm going to decide to move up again, because I'm not doing a great deal of much. I'm rather nervous of the tank that I saw earlier on going up that road at around H8, because, well, he's a threat, and he would potentially have shots onto me if I got spotted, which would be a nuisance. So I'm very, very edgy about him. But there's only 3 minutes 40 of the game left. So whoever's going to win this kind of needs to get a win. So with that in mind, I move forward. Well, you can see there's a veritable tank graveyard down here, and oh, hello! Come on, find the shot, find the shot. There he is, there he is, there he is. Oh, oh no. Oh dear. I almost got him. Almost. But the shot missed or bounced or something. And the gun's okay, but it's not brilliant. There was a bit of an angle going on there. And these tier 1s that are based on the French Renault FT are actually, for their quite hard nuts to crack. And so I just decided to stick with the game on the basis that it only has just under 3 minutes left at most. And I'm wondering, is this Chini AFK? He looks it. There's nothing about him that screams, I'm here and I'm helpful. So I decided not to pay any more attention to him and switch my focus to the Renault. And ooh, suddenly this has changed. So the Renault came forward, someone decided to have a pop at him. Our tank destroyer, the Panzerjäger 1, found the guy they had that was coming up the road at about H8. So that just leaves a single Otsu. It looks like we might have this in the bag, with any luck. Oh, and I'm willing this guy. No, front to the enemy, front to enemy. Move onwards, you are giving him the best possible shot. You're giving him your weak armour, and you're giving him a broadside. Ah, and the Renault gets away on 1 health. 1, which is hilarious. Now, it's worth bearing in mind, just because we outnumber them, that doesn't mean this is an auto win. We have to either kill him or cap, for starters. Secondly, it looks like our Chini is AFK. Our Renault is on 1 health. And that guy apparently shred our tank destroyer. Conversely, the tank destroyer could just blat him in the face. And that's it, game over. So, you know, not a bad little game in the tier 2 Japanese tank. As I say, I wanted to show you a game from the tier 1 machine as well, but I can't. And all that happens of interest there is I lose all my crew. But anyway, I hope you found that vaguely enjoyable. It was perhaps slightly slow paced, and I apologise for that. But anyway, feel free to catch some of my other videos, and I'll see you in another one. Bye bye.